Our new vehicle guests plainly make a statement with every purchase. They have low risk tolerance. In other words, they are far more inclined to invest a significantly higher amount of money toward ownership of something with full factory coverage. This obviously makes sense, particularly when we consider how lofty repair expenses quickly become these days. Resultantly, they are also predisposed as more receptive to our message. Folks, obviously the protection afforded you by the full factory coverage is important. That's always a core reason for investing in a new vehicle. And since your trade cycle will extend well beyond the point where the factory has accepted responsibility for the repair payments, it's obvious you probably don't want to accept the responsibility yourselves for the cost of repairs once the factory has decided to stop paying. After all, let's consider the fact that the factory probably has more money than our guests and us combined. They probably know the vehicle better than anyone because they build it. They know the importance to their audience of the coverage they offer and that it sells vehicles. Therefore, it may also stand to reason that offering longer coverage terms and mileage allowances would probably sell more vehicles, yet their limitations remain. Why? Because they have determined that their level of risk tolerance needs to end at a certain point for economic reasons. Put simply, the risk exceeds the reward. Think about that for a moment. If the people who build the vehicle, who know it better than anyone, who stand to gain the most from increased sales, who probably have more money than both us and our guests combined, if they have decided to eliminate their risk tolerance at a certain point, why should we then assume all the risk from that point forward? Does our guests' ownership cycle end at this point? Usually not. Will they have payments remaining at this point where financing is involved? Usually yes. Once we shed light on these facts, our new vehicle guests are very likely receptive to our message. There is a problem with this, however. New vehicle pricing is beginning to drive our guests to seek solutions to their transportation needs with more regularity from the used vehicle market. So where does that leave our used vehicle guests? Are they more well-equipped to handle the unexpected? Probably not. And yet they are also making a statement every time they purchase a vehicle that they don't want to pay new vehicle prices. Are they more willing to accept risk than our new vehicle guests? Probably not. They may believe that they have to gamble with the unforeseen in exchange for the savings. But do they? Let's say the previously enjoyed vehicle they are purchasing is 3 years old and has 36,000 miles, but is being bought for $20,000. Our guests may conclude that this savings justifies the exposure to unforeseen expenses. However, it doesn't have to be this way. Instead, we might share with them that they have an opportunity to take advantage of the best of both worlds. They are purchasing their new to them previously enjoyed vehicle for the considerable savings previously reviewed, but don't have to assume all the risks typically involved. Let's assume the opportunity presents itself that for $3,500, they'll be able to protect themselves from the exposure related to the end of the factory's full mechanical coverage for the next 3 years or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first. In fact, they may even have access to a plan with term and mileage limits as long as their finance term. At the end of the day, they will still have realized tremendous savings versus the investment of that which would have been required to obtain a new vehicle while still enjoying the level of protection they would have received had they spent the big bucks on new. Think about it. Good luck and good selling.